Welcome back to Thanks for Sharing, everyone. We're your hosts, David O.
Eric B.
And Allie B.
There we go. Nailed it.
Yes.
Nailed that intro, Eric. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
How's everybody doing? How are you guys doing?
Fine.
Me? I'm well. Yeah, I am well. I'm very good. I'm wonderful.
Me too. And if it's okay with the panel, I would like to share first.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So David got a job offer today.
Woo!
Yay!
No big deal. No big deal. No, it was
no big deal. Well, are you kidding? Are you kidding right now? This is like you've been talking about this for months and months and months.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm elated. I'm absolutely ecstatic and happy and joyous and free and all those good things. Yeah, I was on my we had a Microsoft Teams meeting, so it was a digital interview.
Mm-hmm.
Went for about an hour and a half.
Oh wow!
And at the end of it, and so at the end of it, they ultimately were like, "Yeah, we would like to offer you a position, and we're going to get that over to you." So I have a letter of acceptance that I need to sign digitally and send back to their recruiter person. And yeah, so I have a new job.
When are you? Questions? Yeah.
What?
Go ahead, Allie. You first.
Yeah, we have questions. So is this your job from out of hospitality, like putting the nail in that coffin and just
yes,
no more? Yes. Absolutely. Oh my God, I am so happy for you. That was such a good feeling. Life after hospitality, man.
The service industry, especially the last couple months, like the last 6 months for sure, but like the last 2 with COVID and everything, it just burnt me to my core, and I'm just done on it, and I never want to serve food to anybody ever again, except for my wife.
Okay, and you know what? You never have to, man. You never have to. That's the beauty of it. Oh, so good.
That's good, dude.
And I got... Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm going to put in, after I sign my acceptance letter, once I get it, which will probably be Monday, I'll put in my 2 weeks, and so by early June, I'll be starting a new job.
Are you worried about putting in your 2 weeks? Like,
yes, I am. I'm very anxiety riddled with that because I know they're short staffed, and it's been a struggle the last couple weeks, doing nothing but curbside, just the phone's ringing off the hook, and it's been a real pain in the ass. And yeah, she's going to be very, very disappointed. But I mean, that's what happens when you don't properly staff your restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? Like, I mean, this isn't something that's just come up out of the blue. This is something you've been thinking about for, man, it's been almost 2 years, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because this was last year, too. You were pretty close to quitting last year. Didn't you quit for a minute? Oh, yeah.
No, I almost did. I took a break. I took a week break where I just told her, I was like, I'm burnt. I need a week. And to reassess things, and it just happened to fall during a time where Kristen was unemployed, so basically I had to go back. So there was a lot of life circumstances where I just, the opportunity to quit wasn't there, and the other job options. Oh yeah, because the whole I was trying to move into the recovery field, and that sort of fell through. That did not pan out as I wanted it to. And yeah, so it was just one way or another. I just kept getting stuck, and then finally, just this final breakthrough. due to our dear friend Ryan. Thank you very much. Shout out to him.
Oh wait, my brother-in-law Ryan?
Yeah, I'm working at his company.
Awesome. Yeah. Skyline or something? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm very excited to do that. It's a pay raise. It's insurance, 401k, all that good stuff.
You get PTO, I've never right?
Had before. Yeah.
Like you never had PTO before.
No. As soon as I start, I automatically have 2 weeks of vacation leave and sick leave and all that stuff that I can use by December 31st.
PTO is the best. It really is. It's fucking awesome.
It really is. It really is. My favorite thing about PTO is that even when I use my PTO, because I accrue it, I'm accruing it. It's the best.
Yeah. I'm super psyched about that. It's been a long road. I've been in this job for 5.5 years, and like anybody who's listening, and you're in semi-early recovery, like sometimes it takes like a long time to really take that next big leap in life and recovery, and it's just really just keeping your nose to the grindstone and just doing the next right thing, and eventually, hopefully, it all works out. So yeah, that's where I'm at today, and I'm very excited. And it's on my wife's birthday, which is doubly awesome. And it's been a fantastic day.
Awesome.
Yeah. Where are you guys at? How's your awesome day, Allie?
Oh, my day was pretty good. Man, I feel like I can finally start to breathe again at work. I had 3 days without having to scan a COVID patient, which is awesome.
Wow.
Which shows me that, it shows me that, an order printed for one when I was leaving, but it shows me that the numbers are going down, right? That's some solid concrete evidence that I can use in my daily life to say, hey, it is getting better. So that was cool. I don't know, the weather is so beautiful. It's so good. I'm so ready for warm sunshine and the summer and spring. No rain. I don't feel like I live in Seattle anymore, which is important. I just came home and I had this good vibe, good vibes all day, listening to good music at work. It was just me and my coworker. I love all my coworkers, but me and one are very close. We're I have bread and butter, whatever. You want a peanut butter jelly. So it was just her and I today, and we had a good day. It was busy. And you know what? The best thing happened to me today. I've had some really awesome interactions with human beings throughout my pleasant time here on Earth. But today was an extra special one of those. I had a patient, a doctor called, and they were like, hey, we want to send this guy down to you. And technically, we're not supposed to be doing outpatients because of COVID or whatever. But they were I was like, is it an emergency? And she was like, not really, but he's here. And I was like, all right, fuck it, send him down. So they sent him down, and it was this older guy. God love him. He was doing his best. He needed help. And I did the test. I took him in a timely manner, and I was done. And he looked me dead in the eyes, and he said, thank you for being so kind to me. And man, nothing in life has meant so much to me than that stranger telling me that, right? I do these things, I go through the motions so often, and I'm not looking for any type of reward or praise or recognition. I just do it because that's who I am. That's what recovery has taught me to do. Don't be an asshole, don't be shitty. Do these things because that's how treat people how you would like to be treated. And man, the fact that he just took a moment and he said, thank you for being so kind to me. I was like, oh my God. It just struck that chord in my heart that was okay, you're welcome. It was a feel good. It was one of those feel good moments. And that's what I do, why I do what I do. Not for glory or anything, but just to have someone, hey, I don't know what that guy's situation was. I don't know what he was coming from, where he was going to. In that moment, I was able to be something that he needed. And that is what life's about for me today. So.
That's awesome. Question about your job. So
Yeah.
when you are scanning COVID patients, you're scanning their lungs?
No. So COVID, I'm not a doctor. Let me just disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. But COVID is an inflammatory disease, so it causes your body to just go bonkers, basically. And blood clots are a very common thing with COVID patients. We're finding like a high correlation. It could be because they're intubated and they're not moving, and they're sedated, and there's machine, like there's all these factors. But so when I scan a COVID patient, I have done an arterial study, but anyway, mostly it's DVT studies, making sure the patients don't have blood clots, which a lot of times they do. So. Yeah, ultrasound, funny enough, fun fact, ultrasound is not great for lungs or any type of air because sound does not travel very fast through air, so we can't produce a pretty picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who would have thought?
That's what you would go for, like, you would go further, like, into, like, X-ray and then MRI for lung.
Yeah, so like CT is like gold standard for lungs. CT scans, DT, they're also like a nuclear medicine. Don't ask me what the DQ stands for. I just know it. I don't know. Somebody out there knows, but I don't. Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, you were you didn't scan anybody today, which is awesome. But and that's ultimately why Maryland decreased our threat level today, actually, at 5 p.m. Because in the last 4 weeks...
On May 15th, this,
What?
Well, just remember where...
Yes,
on May 15th.
On May 15th, Maryland de-escalated our threat level just a little bit, which we're like, we have a very comprehensive plan. And our leaders have been very, very fantastic. So, way to go, Hogan. But anyway, 2 weeks prior to this, we actually saw our first marked decrease. Every day for the last 2 weeks, we've had less and less cases. So that's what ultimately led to the de-escalation, which is good. So that's good news for us. But anybody who's listening in Maryland, please keep doing the right things, and we'll get through this.
So I liked your description of COVID-19, Allie. Is that it just makes your body go bonkers? I think that's a pretty good description of like what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Eric? How's your day been? You better keep up the positivity train, man.
Dude, no, F that, Eric. If you're having a shitty day, you share about that shit. Do not conform to us.
I mean, it's fine.
I disagree.
Sorry,
right?
Bullshit me. I want to hear the good shit. You stuff your sorrows in a sack, buddy. Not today.
I mean, look, like, to be real, like, I have a job. I have a place to live. I have food. I'm good. Tired.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm happy to be employed and to be able to afford to live. I don't know. I mean, I guess one of the things, so like I manage a team of people at work, and we were talking before I got off the phone, and this kind of goes back to like my whole like I work too much thing. And they actually both mentioned this week, and then like both like two of them ganged up on this call, and like gave me shit about it. But
they pulled your card.
Yeah, they were like, because earlier in the week it was like I saw an email from you on Sunday, and it just gave me anxiety. And they both fucking like went after me. Like, you sent us like an email. You sent us like multiple emails on Sunday at like 2:00 in the afternoon. And like, I just thought like, should I be working too? Like, he's working. Should I be working? And it's like, oh man, maybe I do. Like, I work too much. Yeah, my bad, guys. But yeah, I mean, that's the worst thing that's going on in my life is that like I'm a little tired. I'm a little stressed, and I work a little bit too much. Like, It's fine. But yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, you know.
Is the house coming along? What is the actual status of the house? Is it like totally done and you're moving stuff or what?
No, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean I think we talked about that last time or 2 times ago. That's like the gift of recovery is that I'm able to I guess I would call it renovate a house. Though it's probably building a house, but like, whatever. So I mean,
blueprints drawn.
Huh? Were blueprints drawn? Yes.
Blueprints
yes.
drawn.
Yes.
You built a house.
But I mean, it's very stressful. We're at the tail end. I think today doors went in, which is a big thing. Our cabinets went in the kitchen. Tomorrow, baseboards go up. Next week, tile will be in the bathrooms. So, I mean, there's a lot going on. Like, by June 1st, we should be moving in.
Awesome.
That's soon.
Yeah, it is. I'm beyond stoked. I'm so tired of living at my parents' house.
I'm stoked for you.
Yeah, I'm so done. Yeah. I live in an attic, essentially. It's fucking 90 degrees here today. It sucks.
Oh, yeah.
It's rough up here, guys. It is. Mary Catherine is not in the bedroom right now because it's like really hot on that side of the like loft area. So yeah, it's a no-go. But yeah, I mean, I can't really complain, right? But I mean, what's the topic you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about a topic. What's you guys want to talk about? Step? Tradition?
Talk about a topic.
Yeah. We talked about spiritual awakenings last time, David. That's what we talked about last time. You missed it.
It was good.
It was some good shares there.
Okay. You don't gang up on me. It's not cool.
I'm sorry. No, I'm kind of sorry. I'm half sorry.
No.
Only because I'm a people pleaser.
What do we have?
What do we have? I mean, we have any steps, any traditions. We could talk about. I mean, we can talk about anything.
I want a random topic.
Helping others.
Separate traditions too easy. Helping others.
No, I don't like that one actually.
Willingness.
Willingness.
What about
general? Huh?
What about balancing selfishness and selflessness in recovery?
Ooh. Is that even possible? Is that even like a thing?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, you guys are on next level shit.
Sometimes you have to, you got to prioritize yourself in front of others sometimes. And sometimes you need to prioritize others in front of yourself.
Like most times, and this is my selfishness, but most times you should prioritize yourself in front of others. And obviously be mindful of, okay, that's cool, Eric.
Yeah, that's fine. So, David, start us off then. What's your take?
Okay. My take. All right. So just recently, last Friday, in fact, I had to not really quote unquote break quarantine, but I had to spend time with my very good friend Paul because he was going through a very, very trying situation. And I've been very strict about my social distancing, my quarantine up to this point. And so he was the first person that I'd seen socially in 2 months. But ultimately, his needs were greater than my desire to stay away from somebody. You know what I mean? I was still responsible about it. I wore a mask. We tried to keep our distance as much as possible, whatever. But he was going through it, and he was in a very emotional difficult spot. And like, I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want, like, I'm not trying to like put him on blast or anything like that. But yeah, ultimately, like, it was like, fuck quarantine. Like, this is one of my best friends. Like, he was one of my groomsmen at my wedding. This person needs me. I need to step up, like, regardless of, like, safety or situation. Like, absolutely, I did my best to remain safe and all that, but my friend's needs trump that. So my quote-unquote selfishness, my desire to self-preserve got put on the back burner to really aid another person in their time of need. And that like, that's tough. Like, Herb's invited me over a couple times, like, hey, I'm getting bored. Do you want to, like, come smoke a cigar and we could, like, talk at social distance? And I'm like, no, not yet. Like, we're not there yet, buddy. So, like, there has been times where, like, other people have reached out on a minor scale, and I've said no. So, like, this time it was really a priority to be there for the next person, and I had to do that. So that's the most recent example.
Okay.
I can think of. I mean, there's been other times.
What's the reverse of that? Give me a reverse example of that.
A reverse example of that? So when somebody has needed me and I said no?
Yes.
Okay. I have been asked twice to sponsor people, and I have said no both times.
What?
And this was, yes.
What? Why?
I'll explain. So, it was years ago, when I think I had 3 or 4 years clean, and these two newcomers. So these two newcomers had asked me to sponsor them, and like I said, it was when I had like 3 or 4 years clean, and I like pumped the brakes on it initially. I was like, hold on, let me like talk to my sponsor about it. So, and I did that. So I did my due diligence, and I was in the middle of my steps, and what my conclusion was, and my sponsor's approval, excuse me. In order to sponsor somebody properly, you should have a working knowledge of all 12 steps. I was very much in the middle of my steps. I did not have a working knowledge of all 12, and I did not feel comfortable putting myself in that position. So even though these two people had that level of need and had that level of trust to come to me and ask me that very important question, I ultimately had to say no, because I didn't think that I was prepared or in a position to give them what they really needed. So I really had to be a little selfish. I had to say that right now my recovery and my step work is more of a priority than helping you with yours, which is shitty. And like, I don't think it's right or wrong, but it's what had to happen at the time. So those were 2 instances where I had to choose myself over other people in recovery.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
So, Allie, what about you?
Okay, just as a refresher, what was the question again? So what's one time where we had to be ourselves above? Finding the balance between
selfishness and selflessness. Okay,
all right. So the first thing that comes to mind is my selfishness. When you were like, Paul was going through it, I was like, oh, what's going on? But like the selfless side of me was like, that's none of your business. You know what I mean? Stay in your lane. So that's like the first thing that kind of comes to mind is like learning like how to know like like when it's appropriate for me, or like what's for me and what's not for me. You know, because it's so easy as a recovering addict to tell people what we think they should be doing, right? When we only see like one side. And like that was something that early recovery, like I noticed a lot of like old timers, predecessors, whatever you want to call them, were like, you need to do this and you need to do that. And basically they were telling me like, I need to do the exact same thing that they did in the exact same way that they did. And then I would get what they had, but maybe like I didn't want what they had, you know? So like, I don't know, like being selfish and like saying like, wait, this is my recovery. I'm going to do it how I see, not like, obviously I'm going to do like the foundational stuff. Like I'm going to get a network. I'm going to get a home group. I'm going to get a sponsor. I'm going to work the steps, you know, but like I'm going to,
tweak it to fit you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not going to do like carbon copy of what you did and follow that exact same roadmap, because like my destination could be different, or like the lessons that I need to learn. But like the biggest thing that kind of came to me is like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this or anybody listening has ever experienced this, but like sometimes like newcomers, like it's really easy to be kind of, you want to do good for a newcomer, like pick them up for the meeting and be there for them. But like there's like such a thin line between like being like a doorpost or a doormat or whatever it's called, not a doorpost, like a whipping post, I guess, or like a doormat, and actually like helping someone, you know.
You could be enabling them to some degree.
Yeah, exactly. Or like making my life unmanageable because this person has needs that like I ultimately cannot meet, you know. And like it's easy too, like with the enabling, to say like, oh, well, they feel comfortable with me, so I'm just always going to be the one to pick them up. That's not healthy. You know what I mean? That is stunting. That's like you said, enabling. So yeah, I think that
I have two good questions for you once you're done.
Okay. So I think that, and I honestly, I struggled with it because I went back and forth with someone in recovery, you know, trying to help them, and they kept using and they kept relapsing, and like they would get in my car and they would be really high, right? And then they would put me in a weird position because now I'm like all fucked up in my head, and I'm like, oh God, like I really want to help you, but like I don't know how to help you, so I had to like set that boundary, right, and be like, I can talk to you on the phone and I can talk to you at meetings, but like I cannot pick you up because it's putting myself at risk. Well, like long story short, they ended up overdosing and dying, and like a part of me felt really selfish for a long time. Like I carried it unnecessarily, right? Like I was like, well, if I just would have like fucking picked her up, you know, like if I just would have put myself at risk, like maybe that wouldn't have happened. And like I remember talking to my sponsor about it, and you know, ultimately like it doesn't matter if I picked them up or not, like she still might have died, you know. So I had to do what's best for me, and like that was like a hard lesson to learn, especially being like a people pleaser and like, you know, wanting to be like the model recovering addict. Let me be like Miss Perfect NA when like there really is no such thing. And like how I can be perfect for my program is to like learn how to set boundaries for me and like set standards and have a balance between you and me, but like ultimately having to put myself first. Cause like she can't keep me clean. You know what I mean? She couldn't keep me clean. So yeah. So questions.
Yeah.
Sorry if my chair is loud.
No, I love how you said that, because like once I like was like really listening to you, like in between the lines a little bit, was hearing how selflessness can be the mask for people pleasing. And that can be dangerous for us. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and like questions. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
Okay. So you have sponsored several people.
I have.
Yes. Okay. How have you? I'm trying to word this properly. Have there been scenarios where like it's been difficult to tell your sponsee what they don't want to hear and really be hard on them and like give them that tough love and sort of not people please, like not like you're being selfless in the sense that you're still putting that forward, but you're not necessarily like you're giving them the constructive criticism and not necessarily what they want to hear. And how difficult is that?
Honestly, for me, that is not very difficult. If you know me, I can be very abrasive. Like I am the type of person, and this is honestly like I've done my charts, like my astrological charts. Like I know my numbers. Like I'm very into like, you know, certain things in my life play a role into who I am, and like I am one of the type of people that like if you tell me like you don't want to do something anymore, I'm going to hold you to the utmost standard of accountability for that, whether it's something you don't want to do or something you do want to do. Like I love seeing people be their best version of themselves. And like, I had to learn in recovery how to like not put my own opinion in there. Right. Like, I'm like, oh, you would be really great at this, or you shouldn't do that. That does this. Like having to like let people come to their own understanding or their own conclusion or like come to that point for themselves. That's very difficult for me. You know, but like, yeah, but just like, I don't know, like telling people what they need to hear. The struggle with that for me is saying it in a loving, caring way. You know, I can be so direct sometimes. Like, I forget, you know, like I forget that like, oh, like that came out really bitchy or that came out wrong. Like my message was maybe right, but my delivery was completely inaccurate. And like, it was reckless, I guess you could say. Like, you know, it's one of those things that I've had to fucking give Backwork a 10-step and apologize for like something that I said that I intended to be like a push up or like a little bump up, but it came out as like criticism or something. So that has been very, very hard for me. I will say like the hardest thing, I sponsored this girl, and I say that like very, like, fuck that. Like I sponsored this girl. And she dated someone that I had dated in early recovery, and it ended horribly for me. Like, it was a bad, sick relationship. And she was dating them while I was sponsoring her. And, like, that really taught me, how to put myself in front of, like, how to balance that, like, selfless service and, like, you know, like, self-care. Because there was like constantly this like me wanting to tell her my experience and then like not realizing like if I tell her that, she's just going to be like, fuck you don't know what you're talking about, and probably push me away or push, you know, maybe potentially all women in the program away. So like that was really hard because like I was like, fuck, I know how this is going to end and it's not going to end well. But like honestly, like I didn't know that. So like that was my opinion on it. But yeah, like that was really hard. And it was also awkward as fuck for me. See me?
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
Super awkward. Like there was too many, like looking back, I was really early in recovery. And today, if that would be the instance, I would probably suggest they get a different sponsor, right? Because I'm not a people pleaser and I'm like, you know, like I know like this could end badly kind of thing. But, you know, in that moment, like I could, I was like, I cried.
Have you ever had to fire a sponsee?
No, but I told people I couldn't sponsor them before.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever fired. I mean, like, I've maybe lovingly suggested that someone, like, if somebody has asked me to sponsor them and they keep using and then they come back in and they're like, hey, I'm ready, I will say, like, hey, if you think you want to get a different sponsor, like, that's cool. You know, like, I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm always going to love you. But, like, stuff like that. Or if, like, our relationships just change so much and we're more, like, friends. You know, that it's like, let's reevaluate this relationship kind of thing. Like, labels or, you know, like, it's really easy to become really close with your sponsor and then that relationship changes and you can't, you know, you're like, I really don't want to talk to them about this because like they might judge me from like a friendship standpoint. I don't know. Like that's how I think. So, yeah, like I feel like there needs to be like a level of, I don't know. I don't want to say like we're friends. I'm friends.
You just get too close.
Yeah, exactly. Like too close to help. Yeah, like it's like it becomes the relationship changes and evolves and like the dynamics change, and it's hard to kind of, you know, be someone that's giving a suggestion that's like kind of like, yeah, this is a suggestion, but like fucking do it. You know, or like a friend, if like Tara told me like, hey, maybe you should write a gratitude list. My first thought I was like, hey, why don't you fuck yourself? You know what I mean? Like, Christian, like, but if my sponsor said it, you know what I mean? Like, but if my sponsor said it, I might be like, oh shit, like I probably should do that. Does that make, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I would never think that in my head either. Tara, if you ever hear this, like,
Tara, I hope you hear this. Once this comes out, I'm gonna send this directly to Tara. Like, Tara, you gotta do this shit. She'll laugh.
Crack up laughing. Yeah, she'll laugh. She'll be like, yeah, I probably thought people too, but yeah. So, but it is, dude. It's so hard. It's just part of the process. And what's crazy is like it's always changing too. Like my level of selfless service. Versus, because I've been on subcommittees like that were struggling, and I'm like, well, fuck it, I got some money, so I'll pay for all this shit, and then not that way the subcommittee doesn't have to put their money out. And then I had someone point out to me that like that's not helping the person behind you. Like I'm setting up like a false reality, right? Like I'm harming. Like so I can think I'm doing good, but I can actually be creating harm.
Yeah, and that's the selfishness piece. Like sometimes. Really, like not doing something is less selfish than actually doing something. You know, like what you were saying. Like, yes, you had the monetary ability to do that, but you were creating basically a falsehood in the whole scenario.
Yeah, exactly. And then like that line gets blurred because it's like, oh, is this my event or is this my thing or is this like, you know what I mean? Like I am a trusted service. I'm supposed to be a selfless service, not like inserting my will, my finances, my whatever. Like
Allie, that's your home group. Don't let that shit. You know, that's your home group. You're paying the rent. It's yours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like this is my subcommittee. Yeah, exactly. Like that kind of thing. But like, dude, it fucking happens. Like it does. It's so crazy. Like it really does. And I think a lot of times, like we're addicts. We're a control freak. Like just I am a fucking control freak. Like I've seen other people, and I can see that they have very similar characteristics to their control as I do. But like it's one of the things that's really easy to like get those lines blurred and turn it into mine instead of ours.
I think that's interesting.
All right,
like
Eric.
Talking about like what you just said, where you take like ownership of a service commitment. Because I know like because we all do it, right? Like the Wednesday meeting, I would be like, oh, that's David's meeting. Like I'll still think the meditation meeting's mine. Like the Friday meeting, I'm like, that's mine. Yeah. That's, you know, whoever's in the home group, that's not really there. That's my meeting. I made it.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, and even like with commitments, because I remember, what was it? Like, I think I had Shepherd Pratt on Saturday mornings for like years. And I was like, that's just mine, you know? It's my commitment.
So I have a question for you, Eric. Can there be times where we're kind of in a state of denial where our own selfishness gets put into the guise or the mask of selflessness?
Of course. Of course. I mean, I was starting to like do it to the meeting that was your home group. I do it. That's why I don't have a home group. My sponsor has like, we've talked about this. I am someone, as weird as this might sound, I'm someone who should not have a home group because as much as I don't want to, I will instill my will upon it. And I started doing it in Spiritual Awakening. I started to. Like, you guys started listening to me and adopting things that I wanted to do. And, like, I should have just not said a word. But, yeah, like, it's my selfish way of being like, I don't really like your meeting. Let's change it a little bit. I would have pushed it further if I didn't leave. Like, shit, that thing would have been like, a 12 concept on every, fifth Wednesday of the month. Like, I would make it weird.
It would have been a virtual Patreon basket.
Yeah.
Everybody could just throw money in.
You know what? I'm upset that one got shut down. And actually, I had someone from the home group text me when, like, COVID started and was like, man, we should have adopted your idea. And I'm like, yeah, you should have. You should have. But I don't know. That's hard, right? Where you want it to be your will, and it is selfish. But you don't realize it at the time because, like, you're ultimately, like, in your mind, you think you're doing the right thing. Oh yeah, with all subcommittees that I've been on, with like all service commitments, I think I'm doing the right thing. And I've paid rent
and you're
not
technically harming anybody. Technically,
maybe egos, but that's
yeah.
Probably wasn't helping one person's ego I can think of in one home group. But
can I recite my quote that you hate, Eric?
Which quote? I don't fucking.
Oh wait, I don't know this quote.
Yeah, what quote? I'm at a loss.
The fish in the bowl doesn't know that it's wet.
Stupid fucking quote.
It's true. The fish in the bowl does not know it's wet because you're so surrounded.
I think
you're so immersed in the situation.
David, you use the quote. You use it so interchangeably with so much shit. Like, it just loses its value.
It's a very versatile quote.
It really isn't.
No. It's a fluid quote.
It's not. It's
a good quote. Thank you, Allie.
No, she said fluid. She didn't say good, okay? So, like, I mean, don't get ahead of yourself here.
I heard good.
I mean, maybe that's just a little bit of denial on your part, David.
No, it's not. I think it's a very good quote. It's so true.
The fish in the bowl doesn't know that everybody else isn't wet. Right?
That's true. Because it's in such denial. It is immersed in a bowl of self-denial.
No, it's just immersed in its own world, and its own world is what it is, and it might think that's what the whole world is.
Exactly. See, and that's the whole mindset.
Here's the problem with your fish in the bowl doesn't know that it's wet, is if that's its environment, like, wet is a construct that we've created as humans. So, I mean, would the fish would the fish even know and be able to comprehend that it's wet? I mean, that's just a construct that we've created.
I mean, if we want to,
we don't know what this fish feels.
If we want to take this whole water concept even further, do crabs think that fish can fly?
Depends on the crab.
Think about that. Think about that shit.
Depends on the crab.
They're seeing these things just sailing in what they perceive to just be their environment. They're like, oh man, they can fly. That's dope.
Dude, has anyone had crabs yet this year?
Also go out of the water and see birds. So they must know, right? Hey, I'm in the water.
No, not all crabs. Not all crabs. Like fucking Alaskan king crabs. They're nothing but bottom walkers. That's all they do. Is they just walk on the bottom.
So guys,
they don't see shit.
Guys, I want to question.
We're far left.
So, crab cake or crabs? Both of you. What do you like more?
Oof.
Crab cake.
Oof.
You said crab cake, Allie?
Yeah.
Yeah, picking crabs is like an event, and it's fun to do, but after like 3 or 4, you're like, fuck, I hate this. And I'm still hungry.
Oh, no.
I have Old Bay all over me. I guess I never mastered the art of cracking American crabs, so...
You're from here, though.
Picking crabs is not my favorite thing to do.
But you're from here.
Also, you have to remember, I'm a girl who had acrylic nails on for like, I don't know, the better of like 8 years. So like, you can't do shit. You can't take crabs with acrylic nails.
That's true. That's a valid point. Yeah. Oh, crab cakes or crabs. Oh, I'm gonna go crab cakes. I hate that. It just for sheer convenience. I love both of them, but like you can't go to every restaurant in Maryland and just get like a fucking half bushel of crabs. But in pretty much every goddamn restaurant, even shitty ones, you can go get a crab cake. And yeah,
I agree. I'm with you guys. Crab cakes are at this point in my life much better, and I think crab legs are underrated. Not the crab legs from Blue Crabs, but just crab legs in general.
No,
very underrated.
Yeah, like snow crab legs and shit like that.
Crab legs.
Snow crab legs, yeah.
At least in like the Maryland populace, right?
I think ultimately what we found out here is that it's a fantastic quote, and it belongs on a plate with crab cakes.
I will put that on a piece of pottery for you, David. I will have to ask you what it is, but
yes,
you know.
It does deserve a plate.
It's true.
You should get like a fucking, what is it, like Mary just started doing it.
Dude, I'm gonna make that into a podcast recovery T-shirt.
Go ahead, dude.
Give me the fish in the bowl doesn't know that it's wet. Hashtag podcast recovery. Boom.
That's all you, David. It's all you, man. Go ahead.
I'll do that shit.
Go with that design. Let's
wait, but can we get back to the topic?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
What's the topic again? Selfishness versus selflessness?
Yeah.
Is it my turn? Is that what is going on?
Yeah. I mean, that's where we left off.
I mean, in early recovery, I was very selfless. And I don't know, we do this, and I feel like that's very selfless as well, in a different way. But at a different convenience level for where I am in life now. I think one of the issues with early recovery selflessness, like, I mean, not early recovery, I don't really consider like this time around early recovery. I consider like early recovery 8 years ago, but I don't know, giving people rides, and kind of like what you were talking about, Allie, like even when I moved back to Catonsville, and when I was in Sykesville for a little bit, I would give people rides at halfway houses that were like friends that I grew up with, right? I'd see them at a meeting, they'd see me, and it's like, oh yeah, you feel like they feel comfortable because they see someone they know. And like, I feel like I need to give them a meeting, like give them a ride to a meeting. But it's like, it kind of is after a certain amount of time. It's just like, fuck, man, this is like super inconvenient. You live like 45 minutes away. We've been doing this for a few weeks now. Like, you need to find people to give you rides. Like, I am at a point in my life where I can't do this. And like, I don't know if that's really being selfish or just like life changes and you can't. At what point does
selflessness become harmful?
Yeah. At what point is it okay that like you're harming yourself to help others? Because I don't think that's okay. And I think that's kind of like where we have to look at what we're doing. Because is giving someone a ride...
And why we're doing it.
Yeah. Even if the why is like, I want to help this person. Like, I'm not trying to people please. I just want to help them. What am I giving up to do that? Am I giving up... Like, I don't care about the gas. Like, I don't care about the money, whatever. Like, all those things are fine. Like, my time, am I giving up, like, a night with my wife? Or, like, going to see my family? Or going to hang out with, like, friends? Like, what am I exchanging for this? Because I do think, like, the selflessness in early recovery is different than the selflessness... Because the selflessness now is, like, I don't want to, like, make a phone call. Like, all right, I want to just watch Netflix, but you know what? I'm going to call my grandmother. Like, I'm tired. I want to just watch Netflix, but it's more important for me to call my grandmother right now. Or to go see, like, my family. Like, hopefully they don't listen to this, but I play D&D with my cousins and my uncle. Not right now because of COVID, but like we have a running game every Tuesday. And to be honest, I go there to like maintain the relationship with my like family and like hang out with my cousins and my uncle. And like, I don't really give a fuck about the game, right? Like, I don't have a vested interest in this game. And like, I really don't want to play Dungeons and Dragons anymore. But the reason I go is to hang out with them. And that's like being selfless. Like, I've just changed my selflessness away from like the recovery part of selflessness. And I've focused it more on like my family and my friends.
Oh yeah, it's practicing these principles in all of our affairs.
And that's what I was about to get to. It's like, we come to recovery to regain our life. It's not for recovery to become our life.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one final point about this that like when you were bringing up giving people rides, it jogged my memory. I can't remember if it was like year 2 or year 3. I think it was my second year. I got pulled over with somebody after it was either after or before the midnight meeting. Now, it was after the midnight meeting, so it was late night, and they were like, "Oh, what's happening?" Blah blah blah, and we were like, "Oh, we're coming from a midnight meeting." Da da da. And thankfully, like the cop didn't search us because like nothing came of it. Whatever, we continued on our way, but like my passenger turned ghost white because they were from a fucking halfway house. And they're like, "Oh, thank God he didn't search us because I have shit on me." And I was like, "What the fuck? You got into my car with shit on me or with shit on you? Like, you just put me at risk," because I was like still on probation at that point, like of going back to jail. I was like, unacceptable. So there was after that time, like my selflessness for like picking people up ended. For like, I didn't pick somebody up for a meeting for like another 2 years because one person's selfishness. Yeah, one person's selfishness put me at risk, and from that point on, it sucks. But like that bad apple spoiled a lot for like a couple years. Like people would call me from that same halfway house, and I'd be like, not doing it. Because like, especially while I was still on probation, I was like, no way, nobody's getting in my car, because I couldn't. It violated my level of trust in people, and ultimately I had to choose my own self-preservation over helping people. So for quite a while, that selflessness avenue, that particular avenue of service to other people was ended.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
I think that's fair. I mean, so
yeah, it's fair, 100%.
All right, so guys,
there's other ways to help.
What?
Go ahead, Allie.
There's other ways to help. Hug the newcomer.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk to them. If you want to use, call me.
Yeah, and I actually reamed the person out and dropped them off, and was like, "Don't call me again." But no, I was still doing H&I and stuff like that. But yeah, like we have to be careful. Just like we all talked about with the how and the why of our of decisions regarding selfishness or selflessness, because the fish in the bowl doesn't know that it's wet. So
Jesus.
Nice fun there.
God, dude.
I just wanted to say it one more time. I know how much it irritates you, so that's just who I am. I'm getting better, but I still want to get under your skin a little bit.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll accept it. It's fine.
All right. Any final thoughts, final quotes for the day? Anybody?
No, I think I'm good.
Allie?
I think I'm good too. Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, this is Eric and Allie. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
Keep coming back, David.
Okay. All right. You hit me with that one. All right. That's fair. I jabbed first. You jabbed me back. You got me. Hit a nerve. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on another fantastic episode of Thanks for Sharing. We'll all keep coming back, and we hope you do as well. And the way you do that is go on to podcastrecovery.com for information about Eric, Harley, myself, and Miss Allie B. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, like, share, subscribe, go to YouTube, but most importantly, everybody out there, stay safe and stay clean.